you can do a short 15-second freestyle rap, just to make sure your mic is...
Yo.
All right, well, thank you guys for taking some time out. Let's just go down the line, introduce yourselves, and a little bit about your work.
I'm Brooklyn Ewing. Just scream. I'm Brooklyn Ewing, and I made She Was So Pretty. It's a serial killer flick. It's my first film, feature length, and I'm from Parkersburg, West Virginia.
I am Victor Bonacore. I did the documentary Diary of a Deadbeat about Jim Van Meber. I recently produced the movie Hunters that just came out. I'm in that. Yeah, Diary of a Deadbeat's also screening today at 5. And her movie's playing at 7.
Oh yeah, mine's at 7.
Check it out. Thank you.
I'm Mike McGinner. I'm the director of Night Owl Theater, starring Fritz the Night Owl, which was a movie host that was on when I was a kid. He was on for 17 straight years, every single night, and in 2010 we brought the show back. Only instead of TV, it's now in movie theaters, and so each month we feature a film. Last night we screened A Nightmare on Elm Street here, and it's like you're watching a film on late-night 80s television. So it's complete with retro commercials, Star Spangled Banner sign-off, and everything. So that's what I'm doing now.
I'm Stephanie Hensley. I directed and wrote Dane Granger tomorrow at 1, but I'll be watching their stuff today. I'm from Indiana, Cincinnati area, greater Cincinnati.
So, what made you all step behind the camera? What gave you that desire to do so?
I've just been a movie fan for my entire life. So I started doing photos, just basic photography stuff, and I was like, yeah, okay, I think I got a vibe, so I'm going to go ahead and try to make a movie. And I just grabbed a camera and did it.
When I was a kid, me and my brother, growing up on Long Island, just made like really shitty backyard movies. I got a VHS-C camera when I was like 11, and we just first started out like reenacting movies, and then we just started making our own, shitty slasher films, and that started from there.
I got into film just as a kid, 7 years old, on some Fisher-Price video camera, and just made my first film in 2008. We premiered it at Disneyland, which was a fun experience, and then never really showed anywhere else. So that was about it. It wasn't a Disney film, it was a nice PG-13 story about a comedian who was depressed, and we've all seen that movie 100 times.
So a couple years ago I decided to be sober and I needed something to do to occupy my time. I'm not making a movie now, so I drink again. That's what I got. It kept me busy. It kept me out of trouble.
So what would you say was maybe the biggest challenge for being an indie filmmaker, or some of the biggest challenges?
I think finding actors is like a huge challenge, but mainly I just taught myself to do everything, and I think for me giving up some of that control was the hardest thing for me. Like I want to get other people involved, but I'm a control freak, so like I want to make that vision and to give up that and accept some help, because I'm not the best at everything and I know that. So for my product to be the best, I gotta give up some of that. So that's hard for me. That's what I can't do.
I'd say money. It's always money. It's yeah. I mean, I think we all probably have that in common. Yeah. Sorry. Yeah, it's money. It's raising it yourself and using your own money, and working shitty jobs, and shooting a movie that should take 2 weeks, but it takes 5 years because you shoot on weekends. You shoot when you don't have to pay the rent, and you shoot when your tax return comes in. So it takes 5 years, and it should take 2 weeks. But it's money. Money's the worst. With actors, I just use my friends and make my own stars. So.
I'm going to go with money too. I wrote a feature in 2003 that's still waiting in the wings due to budget. I have a friend who works out west, and she, took a look at the script and budgeted the script out, and she's, 20 million. I was like, okay, you're right. She's 13 million. I was like, damn. And just keep coming down, and so one day I'll make that. But I think with actors, I'm the same way. In a way, it's not really casting friends, but I like actors to pretty much be who they are, taking on that role instead of visually active, and you see through that. So I like the natural feel of, and I'm a big fan of dramas, so I dig dramas.
I think the hardest part, it's fun making the movie. Then you get it out there, and some asshole puts it online. And then you're just like, I mean, I know it happened to you.
Instantly.
Yeah.
Like, I don't even know how it happened. Like, I was like, hey, I have DVDs, and I'm gonna sell one, and then it was like, oh, no, I'm not, because it literally went up the day that I got DVDs, basically.
Yeah, so
and I was
it's
like,
someone you know, it's someone
yeah.
who had a screener.
Yeah.
And that's depressing.
And
because it's a tight group with us.
Yep.
It
It was heartbreaking, because we were just like,
Did you do it?
not it.
Well, yeah, that actually happened. I screened, like, before the documentary came out, I screened like a 45-minute cut, like it wasn't done. And I was like, I'll give this festival upstate New York, I won't say their name, but it's the only one in upstate New York that screened it. So I let them screen it, and then at Days of the Dead convention last year, someone's like, oh, I saw I have a copy of your documentary. And I'm like, it's not out yet. She's like, well, I'm like, how long? She's like, 45 minutes. I'm like, oh, interested. Because when I asked for it back, they said they didn't have it anymore. And I guess they made copies or they gave that one out. But it's a little frustrating.
Very frustrating.
Yeah.
It makes you just, I mean, we all want to make movies. We all want that moment. And then it's like, okay, is someone going to watch it and are we going to get recognized? And we're sure as hell not going to make our money back on it.
And you want to trust people too.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
I made mine for $0. Like $0.
Yeah.
So like, when I saw it go up, it went up the same day as The Shallows went up. Someone pirated The Shallows, and so it's sitting right next to The Shallows, right? And then the thing, you can watch it, So people are probably like, oh, we'll check out The Shallows. Oh, that's pretty good. Oh, let's watch this one. Oh, this is a shithole. It's like, well, yeah, look at the budget of The Shallows versus $0. Like, give me a break. People are really harsh because they were like, well, was this made on a cell phone? Basically, because, you sit it next to Hollywood, like, screw you guys. But they don't know. They're just watching what's up there,
So, since my movie's out there for free, I have this lovely lady that hopefully we have enough for all of you. She's going to pass it out to you guys.
You're the best.
We also, I got some stuff from Studio 605. They're from where I'm from, that area. And I work with them as well, and they're good guys. So some of the bags have some of their movies in there, some bracelets. There's a short film in there I did. There's Dane, there's some posters.
Next up to the back of the class.
It's gone. That shit was just lying around the house. It was already paid for. So you know what? We're just gonna hand it out. If you guys like it, say something nice online. If you guys hate it, call the shithole.
Don't do that. She's so freaking nice.
No, I'm not.
You're
She's
kidding.
really not.
She just gave you presents. Be nice.
Hey, you don't have to be nice to me. But I drink PBR.
See, that's what I mean. Buy our beers.
Fuck Heineken.
So who are some of your inspirations and why?
Oh God. I'm gonna say the typical response, and Tarantino has always been the guy for me. Not only because he's incredible, but he doesn't give a shit. Basically, he wants to make the movies he wants to make with the people he wants to make them with, and he doesn't care. You know what I mean? He has those friend goals. I like that. I want to work with people I like, and I want to make stuff that I like. And if it's 10 movies, if it's one movie, I don't care. I feel like he makes those movies and makes huge money now, but in the beginning he didn't know that was going to happen, and now he can do whatever he wants. And I respect that. I like that.
Frank Henenlotter, John Waters, Stanley Kubrick, Andy Milligan, everything from guys who are making big budget stuff like Kubrick to Andy Milligan, who was making I don't want to call them trash films. They are trash films, but they're beautiful too, and they're made for not much money, and he made 1 million movies. So yeah, and Frank Henenlotter, I think Basket Case was that movie that I saw that I was like, okay, I can kind of do this. I can't do Clockwork Orange, but I can do this. This is rad. Those are the main guys, I think.
I mean, I'm going to have to go with Spielberg. But aside from that, life changed for me when I was 9 years old, and the Sunday night movie on ABC was the pilot of Twin Peaks, and I fell in love, and just didn't realize how much film could make you feel. I mean, David Lynch takes you to hell and back, and it's just a pretty amazing feeling of emotion. The music by Julie Cruz that was in that will make you cry, and yet the murders are terrifying. And so Lynch just always has a great thing. And I didn't even know about independent film until I was 12, and I saw at the local arts theater in our town, Crying Game, at 12.
Yeah.
And that'll blow your mind, and it's just the intensity, especially the first half of the film, like, and that just, you didn't hear about it. There were trailers all over television. There was a song on the radio, and that was about it. And so I was like, wow, and, you're just opening up the independent film and realizing it's out there. So I was 12 and just kind of got inspired to really try harder and not feel so defeated because you're not Spielberg.
John Hughes because of Jay Bryan. Okay. David Lynch, like I love Lynch, Kubrick, those guys, just the color and the scheme and everything, it's there for a reason. But I do love John Hughes and Jay Bryan.
So you talked about working on a fixed budget to a no budget. For the filming locations, how do you sort of work around that? Permits and all that kind of fun stuff?
Well, I'm from West Virginia, and movies don't get made there very often, so people are really cool. So you're just like, hey guy, can I come over to your whatever and film whatever?
And they go, porn.
Yeah, darn right. And you're like, hey, and they're like, well, you're making a movie? And you're like, yeah. And they're like, yeah. And they're just pumped. So like for us, it's a little easier for locations because we were just basically driving around our city and we would see something we liked and go, yeah, let's get out and shoot right here. And people love it. Like, you get the occasional like creep that stops and gives, hey girl, but like other than that, like it's pretty.
What's the name of your movie?
No one wants to know that. They don't want to know that. They're just like, get in here, come in my car. They don't care. Yeah, so it's pretty simple for me, but bigger cities than those, permit city.
Yeah, I originally from New York, so no, I mean, you just shoot with no permits. I never got permits for anything. But it's harder, and people want a lot more money. I moved to Dayton, Ohio a couple years ago, and it's awesome because it has a cool little film community, and people are super willing to let you shoot their place. If you anything, I haven't had to pay for a location since I moved to Dayton, and everyone's just been awesome to help. I mean, like last week, I shot some Super 8 footage for this girl named Jessie Sykes made a movie called Devotion, which Linnea Quigley's in. And we went to this abandoned amusement park in Dayton. It's like closer to Cincinnati called Americana.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. It's been abandoned for like 12 years, right? Or something like that. But it's right on the highway. It's fucking beautiful. I mean, it's an abandoned amusement park. And you kind of have to sneak in, but you sneak in while you're on the highway. So you're being seen by, everyone driving by. So we went there and got kicked out. I've been there a bunch of times. This guy in a tractor came up and was like,
RV thing, right?
I don't.
Yeah, it's like
oh, really?
RV dealership.
Is that what it is next door?
Yeah.
We went on lawnmower day, so if you're going to go to Americana, go on the weekends when the other businesses are closed. Because we went on like a Thursday and the guy was mowing all the lawn on the property.
It's all closed now. Shut up.
Oh, yeah. But it was, we got busted and he was like threatening to call the cops. I mean, he said he was a cop, but he's going to call the cops. And then it ended, I mean, I'm showing him the Super 8 camera and I'm like, see, we're not doing anything bad. We're just, this actress is obviously dressed like a fucking clown. Like, she's had clown makeup on, and I have a Super 8 camera. He's like, that is an old camera. I'm like, yeah, I promise we're not doing anything bad. He's like, I can't let you in. And then he's like, oh, your girlfriend and your friend are pretty girls. And I'm like, yeah, I know. I almost asked my girlfriend, can you show them your boobs or something so we can get in? It's so stupid. I'm like, no, it's just a joke. But we went back on Saturday at 7 in the morning and got our shots. And then my Super 8 camera went up and smoked, the motor broke, so it was but got the shots. So yeah, fuck permits.
Yeah, I'm a fan of amusement parks and old abandoned things, and I'm actually from Columbus, Ohio, so not far from Dayton at all. Dayton has a great music scene.
What was the question? Sorry.
I heard he was from Dayton, and I'm like, shit. Yeah. Oh, locations, yeah. Yeah, running gun. I mean, my first film, the lead actor and the security guard were just like, what would be equivalent to like the Green in Dayton. It's like Eastern Town Center in Columbus, and we have to shoot with like, the production value was huge, this giant fountain and these lights and all these kind of things. And the security guard just like, we would drive around every hour, make sure we're still there and no one's hurt on the property, and then we drive away. So that was just, again, budget.
Yeah, I just used friends. Frankie was the lead in Dane, and we used the bar she worked at, and they were cool with that. We shot a lot in northern Indiana, and a small town, and they were more than willing to just, whatever you want, they gave us, we had a cemetery, a funeral home, and they opened it up for us. And they gave us food and beer.
Lots of it.
Yay.
They were all about it.
Lots
So,
of it.
yeah, they got us, yeah.
Can we give a shout out to that?
Tippy's! Yeah.
Tippy bartenders at Tippy's.
And they had excellent pizza. It was
Amazing.
Good.
So, I spoke with Adam Raymeyer, and I'm sure everybody's seen Bunny Game.
Oh, yeah.
The beginning scene basically takes place in LA, and it's exceptionally brutal in how it's filmed and whatnot. He said that it was a normal day in LA, and no one said anything while they were shooting this scene. Anything that you filmed or have done that someone probably should have stepped in and said something, but just ignored?
That we've done on film or in real life without cameras.
Okay. Yeah, we really want to hear this.
I have a great story. We have a scene that didn't make the movie, but one of our actresses, we're in the city park, like it's a very, very crazy, busy area, and we were actually sneaking into the women's bathroom. He's the main character in the movie, this creepy guy. And he's like lurking into the women's room, and he kicks in the door, and he stabs a girl. Well, then he chases her around the bathroom and into like this big open area by these tennis courts, and there's people playing tennis, there's people driving by, like, and he like slits her throat, and blood's like dripping down her, you know, and she's just like walking, and like the cops drive by, and like he's like on top of her and kicks her, and it slits her throat, and like we're out there with like real like knives and stuff, and like nobody said a word. People were just
West
like,
Virginia.
people were like, yeah,
West Virginia.
that's something.
That's something.
Cop didn't even stop, so that was pretty awesome.
Yeah, he was a little afraid. About 7 years ago, I started making this movie called Blood Wings, a satanic fantasy, and shot on 16 millimeter. That's why I didn't finish it because I ran out of money. 16 millimeter film's expensive. We were shooting this movie, and within the movie, the satanic cult are the good guys and good girls, and there's a gang. There's like all these gangs within the satanic cult. One of them is this gang of drag queens called the Fairy Tales, and they wear devil horns and they wear tutus and have these cute little devil tails. And there's a scene where they are initiating this couple into the fairy tales, and they make them throw a Bible on the floor and pee on it. And I stunt cocked for my sister, who is a leader of the drag queen gang. And
Are
we
you
shot
from
this
West
in...
Virginia too?
Huh?
How close are you and your sister?
Oh, no, we're close, but not like that.
That's how it is in their family.
This was in New Jersey, so...
Oh,
Yeah. New Jersey's fucking weird, too. It doesn't get that weird New Jersey thing for nothing. But yeah, I mean, we didn't shoot me peeing there, but we shot us pissing on the Bible, and then it was in flames and peeing. There was a playground at like 10 in the morning. So that was probably really bad. No, I mean, there were cars passing, but it might have been a holiday. I don't know. There wasn't like people. There was like another playground over there, but no one really did anything. I don't know. So yeah, I mean, we probably should have been arrested, but we weren't. Who knows if the movie will ever come out? They see this movie and they arrest me then. Yeah, it's your turn.
Everything I made, whether it's a music video or a movie, I hate this answer. I'm boring. Everything I made as a music video or a movie, my producer secured all locations and everything like that. limited series. So, that's.
We kind of had, we were lucky too. Like our sets were closed, we kept it very minimal. I think
I
there's
saw
a,
traffic once.
yeah, that's true. There's a scene that if the restroom would have been open, it's Frankie rapes a girl in the bathroom, rips her underwear off, and all this. It could have got bad, but we were there early enough that they let us just do whatever.
Like you actually have an Emmy. Can you talk about that?
Yeah, I didn't realize that if you were technically a web series originally that you're eligible for an Emmy. And so we didn't submit for the first couple of years. We launched in 2010. And then I just did it because it was like I brought my childhood hero back out of time and was watching those movies again. And he was the first host with, besides like Steve Allen and Ernie Kovacs, if anyone remembers those people, that did special effects or was able to actually like insert himself into the breaks for the films and everything. So I just did it for the love of that. And then when we found out that we could submit, we were like, oh, let's pay the fees and do it and see what happens. And the first year, our host Fritz got nominated, and he had 5 Emmys for his original run from '74 to '91, and he won that year. And then, so I just kept submitting, and last year won my first Emmy for directing, and then Fritz just won again a few weeks ago for host. So we've got 3 Emmys for the current version of the show. So that's pretty cool to be, doing what I love. Making no money, but I got a gold statue.
Fucking
Come on, dude. I grew up, I want to be this guy.
And I shoot boring green screen with no controversy whatsoever.
So Victor, tell us about the differences between filming a documentary and a feature or a short.
Documentary, the difference is you kind of, even if you have like a beginning, middle, and end in your mind, it's never going to be that. You have to kind of make the story up as you go, and you have to adapt constantly. And making documentaries challenging, especially if you're following somebody for so long. And it took me 6 years to make The Diary of a Deadbeat, and it's because you shoot for 2 years and you get all these interviews, and then you find out more stories, and you're like, oh man, I gotta interview this guy. Okay, wait, I can get an interview with Phil Anselmo. Okay, I gotta get that. Oh, now he said this. The movie's gotta be this now, and it's challenging. It's nice too, but because you can just, it's not really like putting someone in a chair and interviewing them. It's a lot different than setting up a scene and having to get the shot right. They're gonna say what they're gonna say. I haven't made a feature film that's not a documentary that I directed in a while, so the feature films I just tend to be more expensive too, so back to money. Because you gotta get actors, you gotta go steal some shots, but a documentary. I'm gonna be doing a documentary on Linnea Quigley. That's the next one, and it's nice because I've known her for a long time, so it'll be a little easier, I think, but I don't know, we'll see where that one goes.
I probably shouldn't say this, but Linnea Quigley has a lost film called Blood Church, and it has never been released, and my producer Dino is the lead actor in it, and it was made in 1988, and I have 2 different cuts of this movie. So when you make that documentary, I'm in Columbus, just Buzz.
By the way.
So everybody, you can see the trailer online. I think it's gone through several titles. Blood Church, Partly in the Darkness. It's not great. But it's beautiful. Yeah, exactly.
He wants you to take him out so he can piss on a Bible in public. He wants to live on the edge. That's why he wants to hang out.
I want some controversy. Let's take this safe green screen.
Yeah.
Put the Emmy in the background.
Just piss on the Emmy. Actually, the Emmys actually own it.
Put the Emmy right here. We can all just unisexually piss on it.
The Academy actually owns the Emmy, so if I were to give it to a friend and they do anything obscene with it on Facebook or anything, they'll take it from me. I mean, it's literally like you gotta respect it. Which I mean, I understand. I'm not complaining. I'm just saying, it is a responsibility. It's kind if I don't will it to anyone, they buy it back for $1 if I ever pass away, and they put it in some Emmy museum or whatever. But it's like, yeah, it's crazy.
Is that like Emmy rule book? Do they give
Yeah.
you like a book with it?
Yeah, then it comes with a sheet of like what you can and can't do, and like the wording, what you can say and can't say.
Oh my gosh.
It's really insane. So if this panel's going online, I'm probably already screwed.
Brooklyn, talk about the process for making your film. How did you come up with the idea and such?
Oh man. Basically, I was doing promo photos for this band that he was the bassist for, and it was the first time I had really met him, and I was like, oh my gosh, there's something about this guy. And he gives me the like total creeps, like really big time. Like I no offense, because I say this all the time, but like after he left, I wrote a short story that was basically became the screenplay about him just being this like weird serial killer guy that was just totally creepy, and like it was just his mannerisms and stuff. So like we actually became really good friends, and now he's my boyfriend, which is weird. It says a lot about me.
You guys are banging.
Yeah, we're
just the way
banging.
you're talking about him.
Yeah.
He's so creepy.
He is so
And
creepy.
he's letting you say it, so I'm like, yeah. They're doing the dirt.
Oh no, see the glasses changes. So creepy. But after that, we started hanging out, and I was like, hey, can I be honest with you? I think you're really creepy, and I want to make a movie about it. Will you star in it? And he was like, yeah. I was like, okay. So then we worked on the script, which we ended up not even using. We went off like and let our actors kind of do whatever they want, and everything was kind of improv, And then we just spent a year hanging out with our friends, shooting whenever we could, like you were saying. And then I taught myself how to edit, which was hard. And then people were like, hey, you should like release this. And I was like, yeah, I'll do that. So we crowdfunded to put out the DVDs and like did a bunch of t-shirts and cool stuff. And that was it. I mean, it's been really weird. It wasn't supposed to be a thing, and it became a thing. So I really popped on, but yeah.
Was that a friend that said you should release it, the one that put it on the internet?
Probably. Probably so.
Staying out of it.
I really have no idea who it was. It's kind of still blowing my mind. Now I'm mad about it. I'm fighting everyone in here, and I don't even know you.
She did it herself.
It was me. No, I wish that never happened.
It's good for us.
Yeah, I mean, you know what? It looks good because I was like, people were like really excited about it, and there were either the people that are like, hell yeah, this is the best. Oh my god, I'm in love with it, or the people that are like, this is the dumps. You should die in a fire. Because they're never like a little mean. They're like real mean. Like it's always like, oh, your whole family dies. I hate this movie that much. It's like, wow, you don't even know me.
It's so easy to anonymously hide.
It is. I was like, say that to my face, and they won't. No one will. So, I have an open challenge. If anyone wants to fight me.
So watch your movie.
I have your movies.
Arm wrestling.
So, with independent horror, we have the extremes like toe tag and the American Guinea Pig. Two-part question for all of you. What do you think's left to shock people? And what do you think's left, more importantly, I think, to scare people?
Oh, shock people. I think we're desensitized. Honestly, I mean, with access to everything in the world right now, with the internet and news, and I think we're desensitized to a point that nothing is shocking. As far as scaring people, her boyfriend, I think human nature. I think that there's still very ugly, dark pieces of human nature that is absolutely terrifying that some films touch on, like Silence of the Lambs and stuff like that, but really, like real life. It could be your neighbor or, so people are still scary. Very scary.
Yeah, I totally agree with that. If you watch, the whole, even something along the lines of the West Memphis 3 documentary, it's like just what people are capable of is terrifying. As far as the town, that whole documentary is villains everywhere. But yeah, I think personally, I think we're desensitized. I mean, I love how movies come out and it's like, this is gonna be the sickest movie you've ever seen, and I'm kind of like, I'm not even really drawn to that. Like, there's gore is gore, and I mean, it's great. Like, it's great to high five each other and laugh or like get exploded head or whatever. But I mean, you've got movies coming out. I mean, I just saw Rob Zombie's 31 a couple nights ago, and it's just like, this is my most extreme movie ever. It's just like, felt nothing. I'm like, okay. But I think the movies that really get me, and you know, talking on a Hollywood level, I guess, when I saw The Conjuring, the first Conjuring, when that came out, you know, you kind of brush off things like that, and like, you know, Hollywood pretties everything up. But I saw The Conjuring, and the thing about that, I'm not spoiling specific things, but it's rated R. There's no nudity, no cussing, no one dies. It's rated R. And I was like, there's a reason for that. When I saw it, it brought back some childhood fears that when I was a child, you know, I never went through any traumatic experience or anything, but that like dark corner behind the door where I looked at my brother and said, do you see that? And you feel something there. You know, it's like there's a scene similar to that. Those are the movies that will stay with me and are super effective. And gore is just, to me, it's like, it's fun, but you're just throwing money at blood that's not shocking anyone.
I mean, I agree with what you said. I think we're all desensitized. I think you can put on YouTube and watch mass shootings and crazy shit. The amount of mass shootings we've had this past year, it's fucking crazy. So I don't think people are shocked by anything anymore. I mean, maybe, but I just don't. I think people that are growing up in this time period, it's just a part of our culture. I think we'll always be scared of something, and I think it does come down to human nature and just what the evil that men can do. And, you know, we'll always find stuff to be scared of. But yeah, you know, you have the toe tag guys, and you know, Stephen Byro did the American Guinea Pig series, and that shit's fucking fucked up, and it still gets me, like, you know, watching someone get mutilated. Like, I mean, I did that movie Hunters, and it's a hard movie for me to recommend to people because it's very rapey, and rape is not cool, but it's not done in a jokey way. You know, it's done to be taken serious. Like, there are people out there that will do this and that have done this kind of shit, but it's still it's hard for some people to watch. I know we did a screening of Hunters in one of the last Days of the Dead in Linnea, I believe, last year. This is a very intense scene, so I think there's always going to be stuff that makes us feel uncomfortable. Sometimes when it is your friends, too, and even though you made the movie, it still feels weird, because you're like, I know that girl, you know, like, watching her get raped on film, this is fucked up and weird. I don't know if I'll ever get a boner again. You know, but, I don't know, just make what you gotta make, and make movies however you want to make them. I think you shouldn't worry about trying to shock people. You should just make what your heart desires, as corny as that sounds, and you know, let it speak for itself.
He's working on his Emmy speech.
Yeah.
I feel like in She Was So Pretty, I made a serial killer film with no nudity. So I think a lot of people that have seen it are kind of like, whoa, wait, what? Where are the naked girls? I'm like, it's not you know, part of his MO. It's not something he's into. You know, so he has a lot of other weird things that he's into. You know, circus peanuts, stuff like that. And so people were I kind of shocked people by not taking it like to that level. Because in the beginning, when I first started writing it, I was like, oh yeah, we're gonna rape like at least 10 girls. Like, we gotta get all the rape going. And then I was like, wait a second, like, that's so what everyone would see, you know? So I was like, what if I pull back and I take it to a completely different place? So, I don't know, I shocked them backwards, I guess. I don't know. But yeah, I saw Rob Zombie's 31 as well, and everybody was like, it's so brutal. And I was like, when does this get brutal? So I was like, oh man, you know, I don't want to spoil her, but there's like a scene that should definitely bother me. Yeah, and I was like, oh, that didn't even faze me. So yeah, we're desensitized for sure.
So I've done a lot of independent film panels throughout the years at Days of the Dead. And one thing that I find interesting, you guys are referencing Hollywood, like, you can enjoy a Hollywood film. A lot of independent filmmakers are very, fuck Hollywood, I don't want to see anything on the big screen. I think that's kind of short-sighted, because you take inspiration from everywhere. So kind of talk about, you know, your take on enjoying Hollywood films and independent films.
I mean, I guess for me, I liked Hollywood films before I made movies, so why would I give up on them? Like, that's just being bitter. Yeah, like, there are people that have opportunities that maybe I don't have. Maybe they got lucky like currently the guy that made Clown, like the Eli Roth produced, does anyone, like he got that made in the freaking craziest way. He actually made the trailer and then stuck at the top that it was made by Eli Roth. Eli Roth got wind of that. He was like, this guy's putting my name on it. I didn't make this movie. He watched the trailer, loved it, gave the guy, he was like, can you make this movie for like a couple $1,000,000? The guy was like, sure. Eli Roth produced that movie. Like, I'm not jealous of that guy, I'm pumped, and that gives me hope. Like, I'm not gonna hate on big budget because, you know, it's something I loved then and I'm gonna love forever. Like, I'm positive. I want everybody to succeed in whatever facet that means. If that means I make a movie for $0 and there's all these people in here that care about what's coming out of my mouth, that means everything to me. Like, I don't care. Like, money's awesome. I'm not gonna turn down money, but I'm not gonna be mad at somebody for having it, you know what I mean?
I mean, yeah, I love all movies, you know. If there's a mainstream movie that I love, I'm not going to deny it, because, you know, but I love independent films. I tend to watch a lot more independent films and lower budget stuff now, because I love watching, like, you know, like I'm going to watch your movie next and your movie next, and, you know, because I'd rather watch that than the new Rob Zombie movie. And not to say, I mean, I did see it and didn't like it, but even if I didn't see it, it's like, I'd rather, you know, watch independent stuff. And I'm trying to think of a mainstream movie. I know I did like a few. I actually did like that Swiss Army Man. It's kind of an, you know, yeah, an indie film and, you know, silly soundtracks, but a good movie about life. And, you know, but then I like, I don't know. Yeah, but you gotta like what you like and not care what anybody else thinks. You can't say fuck Hollywood always, because that's how we all got into it. Full Metal Jacket's a fucking Hollywood movie. So it's Clockwork Orange, kind of.
I feel like this is where I should say I cried at Titanic, and then just walk away.
It's always the propeller guy.
No, I love Hollywood. I mean, I definitely, you know, as a kid, everything is, you know, everything that's on TV that was my world. I certainly, you know, fuck football, fuck sports. I can't feel a thing. I have no team pride.
Pro wrestling.
Yeah. No. but the thing is, well, but that's a show. That's what's great. It's a play-on show. So like, so I think, you know, movies and music were all I had as a kid. Like, I couldn't get into sports, and so, you know, Hollywood was like, to me, amazing. And when I first went there, I toured with rock bands for about 10 years around the country, and shot music videos and tours and things. And so my first time in LA, I believe, was 2002. I was with a musician named Pete Warren, and he was touring for his first record. And I remember getting to Hollywood and being super depressed because everything was smaller than I expected it to be, and everything was a bit dirtier, and it just was like not a good thing. And it took going there twice to really like embrace it. But I think as far as Hollywood and movies especially, like that is, like you said, it's our influence. It's, I mean, you know, we strive for that, and I think a lot of people that don't have that heart, this is where I get you, you know. I think you put your heart on screen and you're going to be successful. I think people that don't have that heart, it's easy to say fuck Hollywood and get pissed because they feel defeated, like they're never going to get there. And it's not that everyone wants to be, it's just that, I mean, come on. Who doesn't want a secure job in the industry? So, that's, I don't know.
No, I agree with that. Like, deep down, even if you say you hate Hollywood, that's what you want. Like, it's, you know, if you're an actress and you're in any film, you want to win an Oscar. If you're a writer, you want to write something that Steven Spielberg's going to, like, that's just, deep down, we all want that. But indie's definitely fun. And there's a lot more heart. You feel all of it. Like, you watch it and you feel it. It just comes at you. But if I had $1 million and a Hollywood producer, I'd do it in a heartbeat. I'd sell out like shit. I'd do Green Day, I'm not going to lie. Like, give me the money, I'll do what I want.
I mean, I guess selling out is like the one thing I really hate when people say. They're like, oh, you sold out. What is selling out? You mean getting a promotion at work? Does that make you a sellout, or does that make you an intelligent adult person who wants to, like, you know, have a career and be like successful when something you're passionate about?
Like, who's good at your job?
Like, oh, Metallica sold out. You know, Did they? Or are they doing what they want? Like, they have all this
Business
money.
thing.
Their business, exactly.
Did anybody ever hear the band Against Me?
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
And like, you know, I used to love them. I still love them. But like 16 years old going to see them, and then they signed to a major label and they're called Sellouts. Now the lead singer had a fucking sex change. Call him a sellout now. You know what I
It
mean?
still
Like,
sounds like Tom Gable.
Yeah.
It still sounds like, and I'm just like, yes, get up
Yeah.
there. Look like Alanis Morissette, sound like Tom Gable, please do it.
But they've done everything. You know, people, you know, like someone like Tarantino, you know, back in the filmmaking world, like, but he's making whatever the fuck he wants to make.
Yeah.
He wants to make a blaxploitation movie, he makes a blaxploitation movie. He wants to make a western, he makes a western. His way. And you can't fucking hate on the guy for that.
And the beautiful thing about Tarantino is that he, you know, had the, I mean, independent film, but yeah, I mean, he's as Hollywood as they come, but he will take actors from these films we all love that are not Hollywood films, so to speak, and resurrect their careers and put them in there. And I mean, you find out that, hey, look who's still working and under the surface with a lot of talent that no one ever hires because.
Well, then you have like mainstream people like, oh, there's 30 other fucking Django movies. Like, oh, cool, you know. And then you start watching old Sonny Chiba movies, and it opens up like old genres to people that, in Hollywood, you know, that watch mainstream stuff and normally wouldn't watch.
So,
Sell out.
one
Do it.
last
Take the
question.
money.
One last question for me before we take any audience questions. It's a cliche question, but for anybody in the audience or watching online when we post it, what advice do you have for someone that's looking to get into independent filmmaking?
Sell out.
Yeah. Just do it.
Just do it. Take the
We're
money.
at a point where, like, maybe you shouldn't, you know what I mean? Maybe you have no knowledge, maybe you have no, you know, equipment, but you know somebody that does. At this point, there are so many YouTube videos and ways to put things out. If it's something you're passionate about and you want to do it, figure out a way to do it. Like, I don't know, that's my thing. Like, we had $0 and we used my like crappy Nikon D3100 and I made a movie that people are buying at a convention and people are willing to take a minute and pirate. You know what I mean? So like, just do it. I don't know, that's my thing. Why not? Give it a shot. If it sucks, well, then you and your friends watch it and make fun of it and call it a day. You know,
Your
it's not
parents
for you.
will love it
Yeah.
because they're your parents.
Right. You at least have like 10 fans and that'll be incredible.
You'll
Why
shock your grandmother.
not? Yeah. Grandma will be offended, but you know, she'll be like, but he did it. You know.
Yeah, I think if you have, I mean, it's exactly what you said, just make it. If you have the heart in it and you can express that enough to where people will be able to see that no matter how high or low your budget is. But if you're an OCD weirdo perfectionist that can't stop controlling things like me, it is really
You
hard.
end up with an Emmy. You're welcome.
I had a point on it.
So do we have any questions from the audience?
Billy Cripps with 1428elm.com. How do you feel about people who say horror is misogynistic when most horror movies have a heroine instead of a hero?
Oh God, I don't think I've ever even thought about it from that point of view. Like, that's a great question. I don't really think I've ever had anyone say that to me. Probably because I have bigger balls than most of the dudes that would say it. So, yeah, I guess my response would just, I don't even know if I have one. Way to stump me. I'm usually a talker. Guy with the Emmy, take it.
I mean, right now we're on stage with 2 female directors, and you know, there are misogynistic movies, but there are a lot of movies with strong females and in the horror genre. And so yeah, I mean, people say that, say fuck you.
Yeah, it's 20.
You're wrong.
Right. It's 2016. Like, people are just looking for ways to say things. They want to have an opinion, and they want to make you feel guilty for liking things that you like, or you know, they want to make you
They
feel
want
like
to troll you on Facebook about it.
darn right they do. And like, I don't know, I don't feel like that's a thing. I mean, I guess it's happening out there because it's gonna happen forever. It's always gonna be a thing, but I don't feel it. So I guess I say to them, prove it. No, please don't prove it.
Oh, prove it. That's a good one. How do you prove it?
Yeah, I don't know.
have them throw movies at you that they feel are that way.
There's, movies that you say are racist and homophobic and all that and sexist. But, yeah, I mean,
It's a movie.
it should,
It's
yeah.
portraying something, so yeah, it can be that way. We're allowed. We can do
Yeah,
that.
I mean, it's one of those things, if it bothers you, it's because it bothers you, not everyone else. Like, I'm gay as shit, and I make gay jokes all the damn time. I'm allowed. Like, it's my kind. So, I mean, like, I guess that's the way I look at things, is if it's bothering you, that's your problem. Like,
Anybody ever see Crispin Glover's movies? Any of the ones he did? Like, What Is It? And Crispin Glover, everyone knows that he's most known for being the dude in Back to the Future, like the weird guy. George McFly.
Spielberg.
Fuck Hollywood.
fuck Hollywood. Yeah, there you go.
He makes these really crazy movies on 35mm film, and I mean, they have 90% of the cast is Down syndrome people, and they're like having sex, and they're like, there's fucking rape scenes, and it's insane. There's like Shirley Temple wearing swastika, flying on a fucking cloud. And there's guys, and there's an actor in the movie, a character that's name is Michael Jackson, and he's in blackface the whole movie. It's fucked up, but whenever he screens it, he does a Q&A afterwards, and he's always fielding questions like, it's 2000 and whatever, and don't you think it's time to not have people in blackface and stuff? And he's very kind, and he's like, well, did it invoke an emotion in you? And I'm like, yeah. He's like, well, that's all I was trying to do. And it's like, next question, it's like, he's not a racist, but he's, shocking you, so I guess you can be shocked still, but, yeah, I mean, this is a really long answer to your question.
Yeah, I feel like we're way off.
Talking about Crispin Glover now.
He lives in a castle.
Does it?
Yeah.
Do the servants have blackface?
I'm sure every single.
All right, we're running out of time, but let's just go down the line. Tell us where you can get, where we can get your movies and support instead of downloading. We'll just start off with Brooklyn.
Okay, today you can purchase it from us, from this bag over here, or go to Ryan Case at the Sinker Swim booth. He has some of them as well. They're $10 because everybody has $10, and you can get them on. You can download it on Vimeo or for free. Or for free. You could. Don't do that to me. I'll cry. Afterwards, Alfie, this creepy fellow, he's going to be at the Sinker Swim booth if you want to do a photo with him or you want him to hang out with you. He also has pockets full of weird things that he'll give you, so go get one of those. And yeah.
Yeah, there's my documentary came out through Master Video. It's available now. I have a few copies with me. It's a Blu-ray DVD combo thing. I have some for sale. I'm out sitting at Linnea's table, and they're screening it at 5 today. So it's available on Amazon. Hunters is available on Amazon. Again, it's a hard one to recommend to see, but I think that's it right now.
Can I say one more thing? I have tonight at our screening at 7. If you show up and you stay through the whole thing, we have a huge prize pack that's over like $150 to $200 worth of stuff. Cool, like VHSs, posters, DVD, T-shirts, just like awesome toys, and like I collected a bunch of stuff from all my friends, and they have cool crap, and so we're gonna raffle that off. So
Not anymore.
at the end, I know, and so at the end, if you stay the whole time, one of you will take it home. So that's just a little bonus.
Is it 7 o'clock?
Yeah.
Cool.
Come
So
win
to
for
mine at 5. There's at 7.
Yeah, do it.
Yeah.
Oh no, you have to be there the whole time. That's rules. I'm trapping you.
You can see Night Owl Theater starting Fritz the Night Owl on Fritz. Well, you can't see the show online. Let me talk about how limited the access is. So fritzlives.com is our website. Facebook.com/Night Owl Theater. The show is available to book in your movie theater in your town. So basically, our episodes, again, the movies are presented as if they're late 80s television. So we've done like The Shining and Blade Runner and Jaws, and these are all things that we cannot release online or on DVD or Blu-ray. We can only show them in theaters with a fee to book the film. So fritzlives.com will give you all that information. And currently the series plays at 2 theaters in Columbus, Ohio, soon to be one in Akron, one in Asheville, North Carolina, and one in Boston. So trying to expand that. So check it out.
Dane Granger is on Amazon and Vimeo. I have a short film called Mommy Mommy on Vimeo. That one's free to watch because it's only 4 minutes. But yeah, and I have some movies in the trunk of my car, and I'll be drinking later, so flag me down, and I'll probably give you them for free. I don't want to take this shit home. I have to just try to unload it.
I downloaded your film last night in my hotel room and watched it. It was pretty awesome.
I bet you did. Some asshole put it online for free.
And it's showing tomorrow.
Oh yeah, and it's showing tomorrow at 1. I'm glad you guys are with me, because I forget everything.
I was kidding about that, by the way.
Well, thank you for taking time out and talking with us today. Check these guys out, pay for their films, support their art, and don't download. Let's give a round of applause for them.